What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys all had a great start to the week and a great Monday. Hope you guys are ready for another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, of course, with the Catch fam. Man, we have got some NFL news to get into today. Super excited to hop into another mock draft with you guys tonight. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you guys are new to the channel. But most importantly, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Any fantasy football topics, redraft, dynasty, best ball, whatever it may be. Any NFL topics, get it going. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football. So we will be kicking off in about a minute here. Give you guys a little bit of time. And I'll go ahead and send out one last warning on Discord. But let's go ahead and randomize the order. There's your guys' order for the night. And I'll go ahead and send that warning out on Discord that we are starting. And with that being said, we definitely have an NFL topic to get into, right? All right, so there you go. There's your warning on Discord. But yeah, it's the big day. We've all been waiting for it. The NFL draft is Thursday, so I'm glad that this is out of the way. But Aaron Rodgers, obviously, as everyone and their mother knows by now, has officially been traded from the Packers to the Jets. It's an exciting day. It really is. I mean, we've got something juicy here. All right, let me make this selection here. Let's just go C-Mac. But yeah. So overall, right, Aaron Rodgers, this is what the Jets get. Aaron Rodgers and pick number 15, a 2023 fifth round pick. The Packers get pick number 13, a 2023 second round pick, which is pick number 42, a sixth round pick, which is pick number 207, and a conditional 2024 second round pick that becomes a first round if Rodgers plays 65% of the play. So a pretty good haul overall for the Packers, trying to turn a new leaf under the supposed Jordan Love regime at the quarterback position. Overall, I mean, it's a pretty hefty price to go out and get Aaron Rodgers, but this is what the Jets wanted. This is what they wanted to accomplish. This is what it took. And honestly, from a fan perspective, I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad that, we all knew this was going to happen. I had no doubt in my mind that this was the move that was going to be made, as a lot of people felt. But there were some starting to, we were starting to have some buzz in terms of Rodgers potentially going to the Niners, for example. Obviously, the trade took a bit of time after Aaron Rodgers went on the Pat McAfee show and, voiced that his intention was to play for the Jets this coming season and all that. But it's over with. It's done. Rodgers is a Jet. The Packers have moved on from their second in a row Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. He is now in the AFC. In a tough division at the end of the day, I've heard, there's been a lot of conversations today, right? In terms of the NFL world, in terms of the fantasy football world, however you want to look at it. But does this move make the Jets a Super Bowl caliber team? Like that's one of the conversations out there, right? It's still a tough division at the end of the day, right? The Dolphins had a lot of success last season. Even with Tua missing a lot of time, they were still a playoff team. And don't forget, a playoff team that played pretty well against the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs, right? And you've still got the Buffalo Bills, who I know, like, when you think of last year, well, maybe not you specifically, but when a lot of people think of last year, they really think of the Bills season as a major disappointment. Started the year so hot, and they were fine all season long, had a lot of injuries, had so much come up, right? The DeMar Hamlin situation, just so many things not go their way. But at the end of the day, in terms of things they could control, it just felt like they weren't 100% there, So they lose to the Bengals in the playoffs. Josh Allen, a lot of turnovers last year, but he was playing hurt. So at the end of the day, the Bills are still a very good football team, led by Josh Allen at the quarterback position, and have a great head coach in Sean McDermott. And then when we're looking at the New England Patriots, I get it. They, on paper, are the worst team in that division, undoubtedly, right? But they do have, arguably, maybe not even arguably, maybe just the best head coach in NFL history, right? So, we do know, right? And the Patriots defense was very good last season, right? We do know that the Patriots will be doing everything they can to keep the Jets out of the playoffs. So I think it's still a tough division at the end of the day. But on top of that, it's still, I mean, the AFC in general is just tough. I mean, you got the Chiefs, obviously. You got the Bengals. You got the Bills. You got the Jags on the rise. The Ravens were, if they get Lamar back, right, and Lamar stays healthy, that defense was great last season. Let me go ahead and make these two selections here. And I guess I need to go receiver right here. Let's just take Devonta off the board. Yeah, Hall's long gone. Walker's long gone. I may go with another receiver here. But I'm kind of tempted to go running back. I think I'm going to go receiver. Let's go DJ Moore. I mean, Drake London's there. Hopkins is there. A lot of good names, right? Etienne was other players considering, so I don't, not surprised to see him go at 3.3. But nonetheless, yeah, so AFC's it's just tough. So do I think the Jets are a Super Bowl caliber team? Potentially. I think they're a playoff team. I mean, the Jets were a hair away from making the playoffs. Obviously, a great defense. Just the offense couldn't get it together on a consistent basis. Breece Hall gets injured. I still think they need some help on the offensive line. I still think they need some potential help at wide receiver as well. Call me crazy. I mean, Garrett Wilson's great. Allen Lazard, great for the role that he's going to have within that offense. But I'm not. I mean, I think Corey Davis can be elevated by Aaron Rodgers' play. But like when you look at last season, Aaron Rodgers with a group of essentially, I don't want to say completely new wide receivers, but a lot of new wide receivers because Randall Cobb and Lazard he already had rapport with, right? But the chemistry took a little bit of time, So I just think the more weapons you add to this offense, the better, right? I know the Jets were in the sweepstakes for Odell Beckham, did not land him. The Ravens offered him an absurd contract. He took the absurd contract. Good for him. But, I mean, I don't know. I just think that you want to try and continue to load up. I mean, this is a win-now team. The defense is young. That's a good thing, right? Some of the playmakers on this team are young as well. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, obviously. Lazard's locked up for a little bit of time. But you want to go out and get some more playmakers for this team, in my mind, because you've got a small window with Rodgers. When you look at the contract, though, it does look like Aaron Rodgers is intending on playing for more than 1 year at least. So I think 2 to 3 years is pretty realistic. I think anything past that, I don't have a lot of faith for. But I'm excited for this, man. I'm excited to see Rodgers on a new team, a new chapter kind of open up. And I'm also excited for Jordan Love to get a true opportunity to play as the quarterback one for the Packers and kind of see how that shapes out. So from a fantasy perspective, do we really need to break anything down? I mean, we've been talking and going over this for like over a month now. So, but yeah, obviously Aaron Rodgers, I actually do believe, and Aaron Rodgers is going to creep up on draft boards a little bit because I think there's just going to continue to be a lot of hype around this offense. And when we look at the trends over especially like the last 2 or 3 years, right? Brady to the Bucks, the Rams acquiring Stafford and really loading up, the Eagles making a ton of ridiculous moves last offseason, including trading for A.J. Brown and just bolstering up the defense, right? At the end of the day, the trend in the NFL right now kind of follows these quote-unquote super teams. So I do think with Rodgers going to the Jets and it being a really good young defense, right? Enough good playmakers on the offense. Although, like I said, I would like to see them acquire at least 1 or 2 more guys. But at the end of the day, this kind of fits the bill. So I do think that this offense is going to be sought after from a fantasy perspective. And right now, Rodgers is a really good value. I mean, he can be your quarterback one in redraft. Mock drafts at the moment. In Dynasty, he can be a QB3, for example. In a lot of our best ball tournaments, he was I mean, I don't know. We're coming out of the big board super flex, so he's going a little bit earlier. But you guys get the point, right? I do think that Rodgers is going to creep up on draft boards as the offseason progresses. Garrett Wilson has already done so. I mean, he goes at 2.2 tonight. We've seen Garrett Wilson go anywhere from like the 1.9 to the 2.12. I mean, he's all over the place on draft boards. So let me go ahead and make these 2 selections. Yeah, give me pop lock and drop it. So Wilson's going to be where he's at, right? Breece Hall, I think, is also going to be where he's at, right? Like I said, at the end of the day, there's not going to be a lot of change to the Jets players because we've been going over this for like over a month now. So outside of that, Allen Lazard at a really good value at the time being, but I won't be surprised if Lazard kind of creeps up in ADP as well. But we'll have to see kind of who else gets added to the offense potentially. What do they do in this draft? And then in terms of the Packers from a fantasy perspective, I don't think Jordan Love is going to see a ton of draft capital, at least in redraft formats, right? In Dynasty, he's a good value right now. He could creep up a little bit depending on when you conduct your startup mock for the season. If you are in a startup mock, I will say, like, if you're already in an active Dynasty league, Jordan Love is probably increased in value, obviously, but like it's just kind of a weird place because all these moves that we're going over from a fantasy perspective, we've already anticipated. So it's like now that it's done, I think there's a little bit more fire underneath it, but we've already anticipated all of this at the end of the day, right? So yeah, in terms of the Packers offense, I do want to quickly touch on Christian Watson. Goes at 5.3 tonight. Pretty sought after in Dynasty mocks as well. So I think he's going to stay about where he is. Romeo Doubs going at the very end of drafts, in Dynasty drafts. Maybe not the very end, but much later. And in redraft drafts is where if he does get drafted, he's going in the last 3 rounds. I would say at the top of my head. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But I do think that Doubs and Jordan Love have shown some good chemistry. But I think before we see either of those guys really jump up in ADP. Now, don't get me wrong. Christian Watson kind of fluctuates. Like, he can go a little bit higher in some mocks as well. But I think we're going to have to kind of see how the offseason progresses, what type of reporting we're getting out of Packers training camp and team practices, whatever, right? And how the preseason looks as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we kind of already have anticipated all of this happening, and I don't think there's going to be a ton of change at this point in the offseason from a fantasy perspective outside of Rodgers slowly moving up in that late round quarterback range. I do think we'll see that happen. So, all right, that's enough Aaron Rodgers talk. Sorry, guys, I have not hit the live chat at all yet. Thank you guys for spending part of your night here at the channel. And let's do it, man. Let's do it. Sorry, I cannot talk apparently. Jeez. Okay, Fantasy Dog with the $10 dono. Thank you so much, my guy. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. You're turning into a heck of a drafter, John. I watch all your drafts. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. I do my best. Some nights are better than others. All right, let's see. Shane's in the house. What's up, my guy? Hello, hello. Sorry, the top of the chat's blocked for me. Thomas, what's going on, my guy? Hello, hello. Doug, what's going on, man? I ate pizza with ketchup. You're wild, man. Thomas, how we doing, man? Boxing the Jack, what's up? Albert, hello, hello. Godfather's in the building. How's everyone doing, guys? Appreciate you guys being here. We just talked about Aaron Rodgers. That was like 10 minutes straight. But yeah, of course, any thoughts, opinions stemming from the Aaron Rodgers trade, let me know in the chat, right? I mean, like I said, we all knew this was going to happen. There's a small percentage of people who are like, well, you might go the Niners, but we all have anticipated this happening, and this has been a topic in various directions over the past month or so in all of our different styles of mocks and everything. So I don't feel like you guys are going to have a crazy reaction, But it is just nice, right? It's kind of like whenever we get news, whenever it may be, about the Lamar Jackson situation, and it's just finalized and over with, I mean, we'll all feel so much better at the end of the day, just from a fantasy perspective and what directions we can expect to go, right? Shane, what's up, man? Pray, how's it going, man? J-Dub's in the house. Hello, hello. Appreciate you guys being here. Does Swift see more touches with J-Mo out the first 6 weeks? An interesting question. I mean, we're going to have to kind of see what the Lions' passing offense looks like, right? In those first 6 games. Give me T-Law right here. I guess I didn't really need to go T-Law right there because Kuda already has Burrow. So that was probably a bad pick, but let's just see it unfold. But, yeah, so I think the Lions are going to run the football a lot. So I don't think it really matters if J-Mo is there or not, in my humble opinion. But theoretically, yes, I guess they'll have to run the football more without J-Mo on the field, potentially. All right, just give me Pacheco. Let's move along. 3 running backs, 3 receivers, and a quarterback. I'm fine with this start. Let's see. Last night's draft was meh, by the way. Last night's off-air draft, or the last one I ran where I drafted a 0 receiver team. That one was very meh. Thomas is waiting all day to mock with y'all because my day off feels fast. Yeah, I mean, I know they are filling pretty fast right now, but literally, guys, just like in the summer, I will be much more like active in terms of giving you guys updates on when we are going to mock throughout the day in the summertime. But like, I mean, it's literally like the snap of a finger, the mock will be filled as soon as I post it. So that's the reason why we run so many. That's the reason why we run off-air mocks as well. It's the reason why you guys run our organized mocks on Discord. So just trying to get you guys, and try to make it fair for everyone to hop in. But only so much I can do once it's posted. So I am sorry. J-Dubs, yeah, I do want to run a Dynasty off-air with you guys tonight if you guys are down after the stream. Let's see. Shane says, not much changes for me. Like you said, it was already anticipated 100%. Godfather, Jets need to make AFC Championship game, at least, in my opinion, for it to be a successful trade. They gave up a whole lot for a quarterback who's going to play 1 to 2 years. I mean, 100%. They're playing the short-term game, right? So let me look it up very quickly. The Matthew Stafford trade. The Lions, I'll put it this way. The Rams gave up Jared Goff, who was a first-round pick, a 2021 third-round pick. So, like, they were able to kind of leverage Goff, right? A 2022 first-round pick and a 2023 first-round pick. So, I mean, obviously Goff meant nothing to them, like, from the perspective that they were getting Stafford, right? But they still gave up a third-round pick and 2 first-round picks to win a Super Bowl, essentially. So, it's not too far off because let's see here. The Jets gave up first-round pick, second-round pick, a 6th-round pick, and a conditional second round that could be a first round. And then they swapped the 2 first-rounders this year. So, like, honestly, it is a lot. I'm not disagreeing with that. But when you look at the Stafford trade, it's slightly better. Wouldn't you agree? Did I read that wrong? Cats fueled at 6.5 tonight. Whew. Did slip down. Yeah, Kyler goes before him tonight. Interesting. Let's see. J-Dubs, I mean, most of our wide receivers are suspended. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's actually kind of a good point. Like, just in general, something I guess we didn't dive too intensely into, but When you look at the Lions wide receiver core for an offense that we're expecting to take another step forward based off of last year, right? Amon-Ra is your wide receiver 1. Marvin Jones, your wide receiver 2. Josh Reynolds, your wide receiver 3. Like, they need help at receiver. I like Josh Reynolds as much as the next guy. He's got a great chemistry stemming from his days with the Rams with Jared Goff, but he also has some injury issues, and Marvin Jones is going into his 12th season. He's also had some injury issues over the past couple years. They've been relatively healthy the past 3 years, actually, but he is a wide receiver. They just have injury issues. It happens. So the Lions are, J-Dubs, with J-Mo not around, I might kind of go back on that and agree that Swift could definitely be a bigger part of the plan because, if Swift isn't getting touches on the ground, he's going to be included in the run game for sure. All right. Give me Brian Robinson right here. Puts us in a good spot at running back, in my opinion. I need to go receiver at 9.2. Polly Chips in the house. Hello, hello. Prayer in the word dynasty draft gives me cold sweats and goosebumps. Dude, I wish you were in our dynasty leagues. I really do. I think I might just go tight end here. Yeah, give me some upside. Let's take Evan Ingram. We'll kind of clean up at receiver in the draft. I mean, we got Devonta, DJ Moore, Lockett. Feel okay about that. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my face so it's teeny. Don't forget about it later. All right. Wilson will go in the first 14 picks in redraft. Yeah. I mean, 2.2 tonight. And we've seen plenty of mocks and redraft styles where he's already gone that early. I think the Wilson buzz is just going to get bigger and bigger, for sure. Polly, I know we're talking football, but everyone pray that Austin Reeves pops off tonight. I'm fourth in the Underdog buzzer beater right now. Oh, dude, I hope he does. Let us know. For sure. Let us know on Discord later. Godfather trade was 100% worth it for the Rams because they end up winning. It'll be worth it for the Jets if they win something. 100%. 100%. Let's see. Trying to catch up here. Josh Reynolds talk. J-Dubs, I'm feeling empty without Best Ball. So Best Ball Mania 4 was kind of silently announced by Underdog today, but I know exact dates of when it's opening up. I mean, in my opinion, it'll open up after the NFL draft. That's usually what happens, but they did announce, I think it's 15 million total in prizes, so higher. I mean, obviously it gets higher every season. At least it has so far. So that's exciting. They put that out on Instagram and Twitter, so I believe that was today. So that's the good news. It'll be here shortly. Would you buy J-Mo in Dynasty now? I mean, sure. He's at a cheaper price. If you believe in him, sure. If there's, he'll be back. It's kind of similar to Calvin Ridley. If you believed in Ridley and you're willing to buy him, then, you were willing to buy him because you believed in him. I feel the same way with J-Mo, but the better news is he's not sitting on a year, he's sitting on 6 games, right? Derek, what's up, man? How are you? Hello, hello. Appreciate you coming out tonight. What's going on with you, my guy? Rodgers is Favre 2.0. Well, I mean, I think it has become more common, over the last, almost essentially since Brett Favre, I mean, obviously his was interesting because it was the bounce back between retirement, the Jets, and the Vikings, right? But since that's happened, it's become a lot more common for quarterbacks to finish out their career on another team. The Joe Montana to the Chiefs thing was a really big deal, but outside of that, in terms of Hall of Fame quarterbacks, you didn't really see a lot of quarterbacks not retiring with the team they played a majority of their career with, right? So obviously Peyton Manning going to the Broncos, Brady going to the Bucks. I mean, like, those are probably the two biggest examples, right? And they went and won a Super Bowl with both their respective teams. So it's become more common. I feel like those are like the only two I thought of, but it's just not as like, especially at the quarterback position. It used to be almost kind of taboo to see your starting quarterback on another team. You know what I mean? J-Dubs, I'm way more prepared than I was last year when I did Best Ball early. I'm so excited for Best Ball Mania. Johnny Edwards in the house. What's up, my guy? Hello, hello. Hope you're doing great. Derek, chillin', bro. Finally happy that Rodgers trade went through. Can't wait for the draft Thursday to see where the rookies go. 100%. I can't wait as well. So I won't be able to... hold on, let me make these selections. Let's go Madison. And we're done at running back. C-Mac, Monty, Pacheco, Robinson, Madison. So, let's go. There's one running back that I do love right here, but I'm not going to take him. I'll leave him for someone else. Give me some more Jacksonville players. We're building the stacks tonight. We got Ingram and Jones with T-Law. What was I talking about? Okay, so I won't be able to stream during the draft. When I get on, it'll probably be about the time I got on tonight, so most of it will be over. Kenneth Gainwell was a running back that I love, who gets taken off the board there at 11.4. But my stream Thursday will be more of a reaction to the selections that have already happened the first round, and we'll probably just run a mock draft, probably a startup mock draft, so we can, talk some rookies, talk some dynasty, and all of that while the draft kind of finishes up. So just so you guys know. J-Dubs, J-Mo is one of those guys that can do a lot with little touches, but the volume and game script isn't there. We'll have a lot of dud games. Yeah, definitely a boomer bust style player is what I see for his future. Which is okay. I mean, that makes for a great flex player, right? Doug, Rodgers will go to the Vikings too. What is the format we're drafting now? Only 14 rounds. No, it'll... Well, yeah, just 14 rounds because we're not doing kicker or defense. That's all. Yeah, 100% J-Dubs. It's almost sometimes better to do reactions. Let your, kind of get your thoughts together, right? J-Dubs, I just want to see who lands in Chiefs, Bengals, and Miami in terms of running backs. Yeah? So there's some, I don't know. There's so much speculation right now. I feel like reading reports just means nothing, right? One of you guys posted on our Discord today that there's reports saying that teams prefer Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan, which, maybe in the sense of, they'd rather pay the price for Jahmyr Gibbs because he's going to come much cheaper than the price of Bijan. Maybe from that perspective, but overall as a player, as good as Jahmyr Gibbs is, and I think as well as he'll translate into the NFL, there's still Bijan, for sure. Thomas, I'm glad I joined the Discord. I have a home redraft league, but they don't like to ever mock. All these years I didn't realize about Sleeper. So literally the first year I've done mocks. Yeah, man. I'm glad you were able to come across the channel and our Discord and are able to mock with us on a regular basis. Poor Steven, no kicker defense. I know. He's sad. Let's see. Nick's in the house. What's going on, man? How are you doing? All right, I feel like tonight's mock is flying by. But obviously just a lot to talk about today. Yeah. So another little bit of news is that we didn't get to go over because I was off yesterday is that Ryan Tannehill is reportedly available for trade. Could be traded Thursday night or after Thursday night. So that's not very exciting, but at the end of the day, I do think that the Titans, if there is a team that's going to trade up, for example, with the Texans, I do think the Titans could absolutely be in that race. I think they have the 11th overall pick, so they're not they're not that far back. To move up or I guess 9 spots, still going to cost them, but at the end of the day, I won't be surprised at all. And I mean, I get Malik Willis is there, but I just don't think Malik Willis is the answer, right? Let's see. All right, let's make this next draft pick. I need a receiver. So yeah, a lot of reports coming out that the Chiefs want to select a running back or receiver. Mainly receiver is what I've seen, but I've seen some loose reports that they do want to go running back in this draft. I don't think that means necessarily in the first round, but it could. I think they'll go receiver in the first round, though. But I've also seen reports that the Chiefs do want to trade up as well, which is interesting. All right, let's see. Give me Rashid. Give me some receiver help. I like this team. T-Law, C-Mac, Monty, Devonta Smith, DJ Moore, Evan Ingram, Lockett, Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Alexander Madison, Zay Jones, Tyler Boyd, Rashid Shaheed. Yeah. I thought about going Dawson Knox right there. Just, I don't know. Have someone behind Ingram, but I felt like receiver, putting us at 6 receivers, locking up a 6 receiver that I believe in was a little bit more important. Pray I will go over teams when the draft concludes. I already saw you asking earlier. All right, so what a day. What a day. Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. So obviously all the odds have changed if you guys are wanting to bet. Jets to make the playoffs. Odds have changed. Jets to win their division. Jets to go to the Super Bowl. All that has kind of changed. We talked about the Jets receiver room earlier, and I totally forgot that McCole Hardman is there, who just went off the board to Patrick Mahomes. So my bad, McCole Hardman. Kind of disrespected you earlier. I do like the potential role that he'll be able to fill in on that team. The interesting thing to me is is Corey Davis going to get cut or not? But yeah, I mean, it's a not nearly as good of a class at wide receiver as it was last season. But do you think there's some good later round receiver talent in this class? Other interesting thing is you've got Conklin and Uzama at tight end, which is not a bad combination. But it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, Uzama's age 30, Conklin's age 27, so it's gonna be interesting to see exactly how that works out. Who's gonna be the tight end one? Because I mean, Rodgers has a pretty solid track record of utilizing the tight end position. Also, it's a deep tight end class. Could the Jets draft a tight end? 100%. 100%. So, we'll see how that shapes out as well. Box on deck. Anyone want to run it back tonight? Yeah, if you guys post some on Discord afterwards, I'll hop in with you guys for sure. But I would like to organize an off-air startup mock for the night as well. So yeah, I mean, overall, when we're looking at the Jets roster, right, it's pretty dang solid. Did you guys see the clips coming back out of Zach Wilson in an interview getting asked what he would do or how he would act if The Jets signed a veteran quarterback. He said, I'll make their life a living hell every day. Something like that. Yeah. Good old Zach. I don't think Zach Wilson's going to get traded, by the way. Like, there's been some rumors about that. I think they just keep him on the rookie contract as a backup quarterback. But yeah, when we think about this Jets roster, it's pretty dang solid. Rodgers a quarterback. Running backs are loaded at the moment. Some of these players will get cut. Oh, I'm on the board. I was going to draft Rodgers just to draft him, but he's gone. Panic pick. Just give me a second tight end. Yeah, Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Zonovan Knight, Ty Johnson. Great running back room at the moment. Wide receiver, Wilson, Lazard, Hardman, Davis, Denzel Mims, Conklin, and Uzama. Offensive line is where they need the most help. I mean, they got Becton, they got Brown, but both of them are hurt last season. McGovern is a center who they signed, right? Or re-signed, I should say. They could use some help at guard as well. But at the moment, it's a good enough offensive line. Edge rushers, Carl Lawson, John Franklin Myers, Jermaine Johnson, Quentin Williams, Solomon Thomas, Quinn Jefferson, who they got from Seattle. Defensive tackle looks fine to me. Linebacker, they still got C.J. Mosley, Quincy Williams, added or re-signed. I'm sorry. Sherwood played okay at times last season. Cameron Alexander as well, right? But quarterback, I mean, obviously you got Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. So you're good there. Jordan Whitehead at safety. They acquired Chuck Clark from Baltimore. Ashton Davis, Tony Adams. So yeah, I mean, you could use some more depth in the secondary. I mean, you can always use depth in the secondary, defensive line, and linebacker. I mean, they could certainly use depth there. Bolster up the offensive line and try and add as many playmakers as they can, right? And I think this team is just in a really good spot. Okie doke. Let's start from the top. All right, you guys can now ask for team reviews. All right, I'll just start with Prey. I mean, he did technically ask first. Okay. Tua, Time, and Geno at quarterback, perfectly fine for a late round quarterback build. Kittle at tight end. I mean, I do typically recommend you draft Kittle, get a second tight end. I said it all last offseason, and he missed the first 2 games of the year. And that's just injury history. It's nothing against him. Obviously, he's a great player, right? 5.5, a good value for him. So, Pollard, Cook, Kamara, Mixon. Man, you would have never drafted that team a year ago, right? Mostart and Evans. That's fine. I think Mixon's situation, once it's cleared up, will be fine. Kamara, a different story, but behind Pollard and Cook, I mean, like, you got some question marks here. You got the Mixon situation, Kamara situation, and then Cook, what team is going to be on, right? Mostart's fine value. Zach Evans is fine. Tariq Higgins, Pickens, Mooney, DPJ. I'm okay with this wide receiver room, actually. I mean, I may have gone with additional receiver, maybe over Zach Evans, but I could also see why you took an additional running back. So you're starting Tua, Kittle, Pollard, Cook, Hill, Higgins, Pickens, Mixon, or Mooney. I mean, Kamara, you want to start, but I don't know if you're going to be able to. But Kamara on the bench, Mostart, DPJ, Mooney or Mixon, Evans, Geno Smith. I mean, it's a perfectly fine team for redraft. Got some question marks at running back, but, like, it's just what happens now. I mean, a lot of teams are built with questions at running back, and you figure it out throughout the season. Good value at receivers tonight. Good late round quarterback build. I'm good with it, bro. All right, Taylor Gang at the 1.9. We got Josh Allen. You're fine there. Waller and Knox, a good combo. I mean, with Waller's injury history, getting a guy like Knox in the 13th round is great. Good little running back room here. Eckler, Sanders, Charbonnet, Pirine, Tucker. I mean, got to see where Tucker lands. Charbonnet I'm fine with. Where he drafted him. Adams, Keenan Allen, Ayuk, Thomas Chark, Rondo Moore. Some good late round wide receiver value. Wide receivers scare me a teensy bit. You're really relying on Adams and Ayuk. And I mean, like, Allen's fine. It's just there's a stain on him because he was hurt last year. But if he stays with the Chargers, I think he's fine. So you're starting Josh Allen. Let's say you're starting Darren Waller for fun, starting Eckler and Sanders, Adams and Ayuk, flexing Keenan Allen. Then your second flex, when you got Charbonnet, Pirine, Michael Thomas, Chark, Rondo Moore. You've also got Sean Tucker and Knox. So, yeah. For redraft, this team's perfectly fine. It's a pretty good team. How do you feel about it? Cats at the 1.8. We got Fields and Rodgers. I like it. Njoku at tight end. Yeah. Njoku a fine value in the 9th round. Fields gives you the upside. I love Fields going into next season. Rodgers gives you a floor if you need it. JT, Chubb, Zeke, and Roschon Johnson. I mean, like, you're a little thin, but in a redraft format, that's probably okay. Diggs, McLaurin, Pittman, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Thielen, Hardman. Yeah, I mean, for a draft, once again, that's fine. You're starting Fields and Njoku, Diggs and McLaurin, JT and Chubb. Good core roster. And your flex, I mean, you got Pittman, Evans, Zay Flowers, Zeke, Thielen, Roschon Johnson if he gets a good landing spot. Hardman for some upside. And boom or bust, right? I mean, I would say you're probably leaning towards Evans or potentially Flowers, but maybe even Zeke in that second flex. So, yeah, core roster looks really good. And you have players you can flex in. So, yeah, looks good to me, man. How do you feel about it? Yeah, Thomas. I mean, an auction mock always looks crazy at first, but once you get into it, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Shane, maybe a week or two for dynasty startups or Monday. It's not like going to be too shortly after NFL draft. It's just going to be after the NFL draft. I know some of you guys were talking about that on Sleeper. So haven't gotten all my final notes together for the auction leagues, dynasty leagues, but we still have time. Just don't panic, guys. Don't panic. All right, Bossman at the 1.7. Prescott and Watson, fine. Late round quarterback build. Schultz is fine. But I might draft a second tight end if I draft Schultz right now, just because, like, I don't know what he's going to look like with the Texans. I don't know if he's going to be throwing in the ball. Like, what if the Texans don't draft a quarterback? Like, I mean, all the buzz saying that they're not going to draft one at number 2. So, I don't know. Like, who's going to play quarterback for them? They just have Mills, right? They sign anyone? I don't know. I just worry about that. Bijan, Connor, Jamal, Fournette, Acne. I mean, like, you're fine. Bijan's your upside play. You were able to load up a receiver by sacrificing at running back. But Connor and Williams, perfectly fine in a redraft. Fournette, Acne, I mean, perfectly fine at the end of your draft. Lamb, Hopkins, Debo, Kirk, Dotson, Mechie is great. 100%. So you're starting Prescott and Schultz. That's not a stack, unfortunately. Bijan and Connor, Lamb and Hopkins, flexing Debo and Kirk. I mean, like, the core roster looks great, man. Dotson, Williams can both be flex options for you too. Got a backup quarterback, Fournette, Mechie, Acne, and all fine values at the end of your draft. Yeah, I mean, like, I really like this team. I just worry about Schultz. Like, if it wasn't for Schultz, probably my team of the night. It could still be my team of the night. I think it's, for a double flex league, like, I really like having just 4 solid wide receivers and then options on your bench. So it's a good looking squad, bro. Thomas, gotta give us some time to mock it up after the draft with landing spots. I do agree. Like, I probably don't see us conducting our draft till like a month after the NFL draft, just so you guys know. So, I mean, I'll think on it some more. Cats, I'd rather just stream a ton and mine goes down than waste a roster spot. That's fine, too. That's fine. If that's how you see it, that's fine. I mean, like, especially, it just depends on how many rounds are in your league. Like, I get it. You can't always afford to sacrifice 2 roster spots coming out of a draft. But it's just like when you look at the tight end position, like last year, right? You had very few chances to get a tight end off of the waiver wire. Like Cole Kmet got dropped in a lot of leagues. Hayden Hurst would get dropped. Greg Dulcich got dropped. And Conquo came up. Jawan Johnson. That's probably it, right? Like every now and then there's that guy that you think he can stream for a week or two, and then he. But yeah, tight end last year was just scary, to say the least. The roster tight end sucked. I mean, I guess that's true. Okay, I think I hit all your guys' team reviews. Who asked? Fancy Dog. Debo's going to pay off at ADP. I won't have many shares. Yeah, I mean, when he slides back a little, I think there are certain drafts I've seen where I think Debo's a good value. There's certain drafts where I would just rather draft Brandon Ayuk a round or 2 later. Is usually how I feel. All right. I guess that does it. No more team reviews. So let's take a look at my squad, and then we'll start to kind of wrap up. I felt like tonight's stream was like 5 minutes, but no, we're about normal time. All right, T-Law, quarterback Ingram, and I don't know why I went Jawan Johnson with my last pick. I'm not really against it. I just typically would take another receiver or running back there. I just was like talking to you guys, and I thought about taking like I don't know, like I think Kayshawn was available, like a rookie receiver, rookie running back. There are options, but I just took Jawan Johnson, which I'm not mad about. But anyways, tight end. Quarterback room look fine to me. C-Mac, Monty, Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Madison. I'm fine with the running backs in a redraft format. Devonta Smith, DJ Moore, Lockett, Zay Jones, Tyler Boyd, Rashid Shaheed. I like this team. Not perfect. Doesn't like completely jump out of paper, but I think it's a good team. Be a competitive team next year. So I somehow let Christian Kirk fall out of my reach, which hurts even more. The fact that I had T-Law. But at least I got Zay Jones and Ingram, But I'm fine with Lockett at 4.11. That's fine. Yeah, I like this team tonight. Why not? I usually send Steven a legit trade offer. He trolls me the trash counter. He's done that his whole life. Just don't take it personally. Fancy Dog, I appreciate my man. Shane, all my ADP info is going to be weird because you have landing spots. You mean like after the NFL draft? Yeah, super excited about Shane throwing together our spreadsheets of ADP, by the way. I want to see if I have that preview, if I can pull that up and show you guys. So yeah, this is kind of what Shane's been working on, which I showed you guys the other format. But this is kind of an update for you guys. So this is going to be some really good reference for you guys, really good information for you guys to be able to, kind of look at in between drafts and everything leading up to our drafts. So yeah, I'm just excited for that, man. It's going to be cool. So Shane, I really appreciate you doing that. And yeah, man. Let's see. Yeah, I agree, Shane. About a month after the NFL draft is probably when we'll start heating up. So, all right, guys. I guess that wraps it up for the night. I mean, tonight's stream was a little bit shorter, but I think everyone was just pumped and ready to draft. So yeah, if you guys want to start going or hopping on Discord and throwing together some other mocks, I'll hop in with you guys for a bit. And that'll wrap it up for the night. So there you have it. Aaron Rodgers is a New York Jet. Jordan Love's your QB1 on the Packers. And it's a day of football news. That is concluding. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait for the draft to be here. I'm so ready for the fantasy season to start. So ready for the NFL season to be here. I mean, it's all Rodgers is down. Now we got to see what happens with Lamar. Astra will be running some on Discord, so hop on there. Oh, I got you, Shane. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap it up for the night. Thank you guys for spending part of your night here on the channel. Hop over to Discord if you guys want to hop into some more mocks. Thomas, Derek, Astra, Shane, J-Dubs, Fantasy Dog, Cats, Boxing the Jack, Bossman, Johnny Edwards, Doug, Prey, Polly Chips. Let's go, Austin Reeves, Albert, and everyone else who stopped by. Everyone else who hung out. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. And I guess that'll wrap it up. So make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you guys are new to the channel, check out the links down below. Follow us on Instagram. Join the Discord. Those are just 2 good ways for you guys to get more updates on things like when we're mock drafting, for example, and just overall updates on the channel. So, love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. We'll run a couple more off-air mocks. And that wraps it up for the night. So, in case you guys are not here, Aaron Rodgers going the Jets. And that's how we're going to end the stream. With that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch. And